Welcome at the High-End Munich 2019. Near me, Garth Powell. It's the third time, I guess, in a row.
Yes.
Yeah. But first there were new power cables, then new power products.
Yes.
Now there's something completely different.
Speaker cables.
Okay, that's also a very Audioquest thing.
Yes.
There must be something new.
Well, I'm standing on the shoulders of Bill Lowe, our founder. But I'm very fortunate in that, as it just so happens, I've just been promoted to Senior Director of Engineering, and for the last few years, Bill Lowe and I have become partners in cable design.
Well, congratulations first.
Thank you very much. And as it also happens, in investigating speaker cables and where we could go next to improve technology, many of the things that I've worked so hard on in the last 2 decades for power have application to a speaker cable as well.
In what sense?
Well, the fact that the level of noise that can induce its way into a cable and mask the harmonic series and the low-level content is from the same thing. It's from a new generation of cellular towers, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and satellites that we didn't have, like 30 years ago or when I was a child.
Is it a big issue?
It's a big issue because as these frequencies that are transmitted get higher, the sine tones are smaller, and it becomes much harder to deal with these things in our electronics, in our chassis, in our cable designs, and in any kind of electrostatic shielding.
And with power, are there other influences than with speaker cables?
Well, every cable and every circuit and every design is unique to it itself. You have to look at them as an individual. You can't take an idea and simply plaster it everywhere. But when you have similar problems, sometimes similar applications work. Our patented ground noise dissipation that we utilized and developed for Niagara, if re-engineered in an appropriate way, has very good application for a speaker cable.
Okay, so you learned from your power cable circuitry and Niagara series, and now use those technologies to build a speaker cable.
Precisely. We've developed noise reduction that is not only incredibly effective over a vast array of frequencies, but it also has the advantage that it is incredibly consistent or even or linear. And as I've always said with our power, this is so important because I can't unveil or unmask something unevenly. This will revoice the system. Whatever I do, I have to do so consistently if I'm going to make a product, or in this case a cable, that is neutral.
Okay, that's interesting. Audioquest always has a theme. It was mountains, rivers. What's next?
Well, this comes from our founder, Bill Lowe, who always, from a marketing perspective, has unique names and is very talented at this. We have these new technologies along with our Zero, which is our zero characteristic or no characteristic impedance. This is available in 2 new series of speaker cables. Starts with our Folk Heroes series with thus Robin Hood and William Tell.
Robin Hood. Okay.
William Tell, yes. And then we move up to our mythical creatures, which starts with Thunderbird, then the Firebird, and ultimately Dragon.
Wow. Okay, so now it's fairy tales. What's the life cycle of a cable, by the way? In my lifetime, I think I had 4 series or something.
It has very little to do with marketing considerations.
Okay.
I believe that the last series probably has existed for at least 6 to 8 years.
Yeah, there must be something like that.
But the truth of the matter is that it could be 20 years, it could be 3. It has everything to do with when the next series of ideas come out. To be fair, I doubt in most instances it would ever be something as short as 3, but we are always driven by our creative ideas and technology first, and marketing and sales considerations second.
Okay, well that's a very good thing, because you know how the hi-fi world works sometimes. Every year there has to be something new. So these cables could last for 6 to 8 or maybe 10 or 20 years.
Well, also, as a practical consideration, we couldn't do a new line every year because some of these technologies take as much as 2 years to develop, and then a year to a year and a half to produce, because they're just simply too complicated. So you have to think in terms of at least a 5-year cycle, because otherwise there would be an overlap. It just simply wouldn't be possible.
Okay. Well, I'm very curious about the new cables then, because the power cables were a huge step. Can we expect the same step?
Yes, we're giving seminars every day, 3 times daily, and it's not subtle.
Okay. Well,
In fact, we demonstrate one of the 2 best cables we ever made up to a year ago. This is a cable that in 3-meter lengths sold for over 20,000 euros.
the well?
The wild, one below the well.
Oh, the wild.
And we then replace it with one of the new bi-wired William Tells, which is less than a quarter of that price, and we destroy it.
Ooh, that's something.
Yeah, so one of the things that Bill Lowe has always preached with Audioquest is that, yes, we want to have the best technology, and we always want to be true to the music. But the other thing that's important to us is value, because it's not just for audiophiles with incredible incomes. We want to be able to take the technology we develop at the top and be able to offer it to the best, that we can at every price point, so that everybody can share and experience it.
That's a good thing. Let's find out in your room, and I'm very curious now. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the effort. See you next.
Thank you so much.